I told my family no one could hijack my son's party again. They showed up anyway. And I had a backup plan. First it was guilt. Then it was gaslighting. But this time, I came prepared. I watched Andrew's smirk vanish when I showed him the message thread, and told him exactly what would happen if he crossed the line again. I was crouched under the kitchen sink fixing a leak when Leo shouted from the other room. "Dad! Guess what? I'm turning 10 tomorrow." I smiled despite the cold water pooling at my knees. "Double digits, huh? We better do something epic then." I didn't have much planned, just a few streamers, a homemade cake, and a soccer net I'd patched up with fishing line. Nothing fancy. But Leo didn't care about fancy. He just wanted his friends from school, a couple balloons, and a dad who showed up. Later that evening, I texted the group chat. "Hey everyone, just a heads up, Leo's birthday is tomorrow. We're doing a little thing here at 4 if anyone wants to swing by." My phone dinged less than a minute later. "Mom. Nick, I really think you should reconsider. Andrew's kids will feel left out if Leo has a party and they don't." I read it twice. Then again. I typed back. "They all have birthdays in the summer. This isn't about them." Her response came fast. "Don't be difficult. Let's just combine it with something at Andrew's house next week. He's already planning something for Ava." That's when it clicked. This wasn't a suggestion. It was a veto. I called her, hoping this was just one of her dramatic spirals. But when she picked up, her voice was already firm. "Nick, don't be selfish. You know how sensitive Jenna is about comparisons. Leo's party will just stir things up. Can't you wait?" There it was again. That old ledger she always kept in her head, measuring everything Leo got against Andrew's kids, as if love was a rationed commodity. I swallowed hard. "No, Mom. We're not postponing Leo's birthday because other people don't feel special. It's his birthday." Silence. Then, a sigh soaked in judgment. "You've always been so stubborn. Always needing everything your way. I didn't raise you to be so cold." She hung up. I sat with the phone in my hand for a long time, staring at the call log. I wasn't angry, not exactly. Just tired. Tired of earning permission for things most people are given freely. Anna walked in, drying her hands on a towel. "Everything okay?" I nodded, then shook my head. "They want us to cancel Leo's party. Say it'll make the cousins feel bad." Anna blinked. "You're kidding." I looked at her. "No. But I'm done asking for permission." That night, I told Leo we were full steam ahead for his party. Just us, his friends, and anyone who wanted to celebrate him for who he is, not who he threatens to outshine. I stayed up late fixing the net again, wrapping twine through the corners. Leo's laughter from earlier that day echoed in my mind. I thought about all the times I'd backed down, smoothed things over, kept the peace. This time, I wasn't stepping back. This time, I was locking the door behind me. The morning of Leo's birthday started with sun slanting through the kitchen window, and the smell of banana pancakes. He came bounding into the room wearing the crown Anna made from gold cardstock and glitter glue. "Double digits!" he shouted, holding up both hands like a referee signaling touchdown. Anna kissed his head. "The decade kid." We spent the morning hanging balloons in the courtyard, tying them to the old fence and the rusted garden hooks that used to hold tomato vines. The soccer net was ready. I'd fixed the tiers, sanded the frame, and even painted the rusted corners blue, Leo's favorite color. At 3 o'clock, the courtyard was buzzing. Leo's classmates ran around screaming and laughing, chasing balloons and kicking soccer balls with sticky hands. Neighbors poked their heads in, dropping off cookies and juice boxes. It was joy. Honest, grounded joy. Then I heard the gate creak open. I looked up to see my mother walking in with a tray of store-bought cupcakes, followed by Andrew and Jenna. The cousins trailed behind them in matching outfits, clutching unopened gifts wrapped in glittery paper. I hadn't invited them. Andrew spotted me and smiled like we were old pals. "Hey! We figured we'd stop by, since we're already halfway dressed for Ava's dance recital." My mom was already scanning the decorations like a wedding planner about to intervene. "I'm so glad you didn't go overboard, Nick. It keeps the kids from comparing." Jenna leaned in, whispering like we were in on a secret. "I hope you don't mind, we told Ava it was a shared party." I froze. I didn't agree to that. Andrew chuckled, brushing it off. "Come on, man. Let's just let the kids have fun. You don't want to make it weird." He turned and started adjusting the banner we'd made for Leo, the one that said Happy 10th Birthday, Champ. I stepped between him and the banner. Stop. He blinked. What? I didn't raise my voice. I didn't make a scene. I just said, this is Leo's party. Not Ava's. Not anyone else's. You weren't invited, but now that you're here, you're welcome to stay, if you're here for him. My mom's face pinched. Nick, don't be dramatic. You're embarrassing yourself. No, I said. What's embarrassing is hijacking a child's birthday because you can't stand someone else being the center of attention for once. The courtyard had quieted. Anna came up beside me, holding Leo's hand. He looked at me with wide eyes, unsure. I knelt down to him. You okay? He nodded slowly. Yeah. I stood and turned back to them. You can stay and be kind. Or you can leave. Jenna gasped, grabbing Ava's hand. Let's go. I'm not letting my kids be part of this negativity. Andrew's jaw tensed. You're choosing this hill to die on. I gave him a tired smile. No. I'm choosing my son. They left, muttering. My mother trailed behind, fuming. Once the gate closed, the laughter resumed, louder this time, like the air had cleared. Anna squeezed my hand. You did the right thing. That night, after the last balloon popped and the cake crumbs were swept up, Leo hugged me tight. Best birthday ever. I looked over at the gate. Locked. Finally. After the guests left and Leo passed out on the couch surrounded by wrapping paper and Nerf darts, I sat on the front steps with a glass of watered-down lemonade. The courtyard was quiet now, lit only by the soft string lights I'd strung around the fence. Anna joined me, folding herself into the plastic chair beside mine. She didn't say anything for a long time. Just held my hand and breathed. You okay? She finally asked. I think so, I said. That felt like the loudest quiet I've ever heard. I didn't sleep much that night. Something in me had shifted. Not a snap. Not a breakdown. Just a click. I got up early and sat at my desk, the corner nook with the lock samples, spare keys, and a folder I hadn't opened in years. It was labeled Family in messy marker. Inside were old invoices. Screenshots of texts. Bank transfers I'd made for emergencies that were never paid back. Favors done late at night. Weekends lost to repairs at Andrew's rental properties, to childcare for his kids while they reset in Cabo. I opened a new folder on my phone and named it Weather. It started with the 19 missed calls from my mother. Then 11 voicemails. I saved each one, not because I needed them, but because I wanted a record. There was no apology. Just shifting tones. Concerned. Guilt-laced. Accusatory. Sarcastic. Threatening. You made your mother cry, Nick. I hope you're proud. Leo won't remember the cake. He'll remember the tension. Andrew's trying to forgive you. He's more gracious than you ever were. By the third day, I stopped listening to them. I just saved them like weather reports. Proof of a storm I didn't cause. 2 weeks later, we signed the lease on a small 2-bedroom above a barbershop. Leo called it our secret lair. The walls were thin, and the hallway smelled like shaving cream and burnt coffee, but it was ours. No shared driveways. No drop-ins. No obligations cloaked as invitations. I moved my locksmith tools into the front sunroom. Started picking up more freelance work, even raised my rates, just a little. Enough to say, my time matters. The family fallout escalated. Andrew texted Anna behind my back. Mom sent cryptic messages. I hope Leo doesn't grow up bitter like you. You're choosing isolation over love. That's not noble. I didn't respond. Instead, I took Leo to the hardware store. We picked out paint samples for his room. He chose a color called Dolphin Day. We got ice cream. Sat on the curb, watching traffic roll past. He leaned on my arm and said, This place is loud, but it feels safe. I smiled. It is. That night, I watched him sleep in his new bed, surrounded by posters of planets and dragons. For the first time in my life, I felt like I wasn't holding my breath. I didn't just shut the door. I changed the lock. Life in the sublet was quieter, not silent, but peaceful in a way we hadn't known before. You could hear the hum of the barbershop downstairs, the buzz of clippers and occasional laughter from men trading stories in the chairs. It was real life, not curated or staged. Leo adjusted faster than I expected. He slept deeper. Ate better. His shoulders sat lower, relaxed, like his small body no longer braced for whatever tension used to hang in the air like invisible smoke. One night he told me, "It's like our house doesn't have whispers anymore." I didn't ask what he meant. I knew. I made changes too. I'd spent most of my adult life undercharging people, especially family. "It's just a quick job," they'd say. "You're already coming over." But those small asks had piled up over time, like keys cut without permission. So I raised my rates. Posted a flyer near the bus stop. Took real payment from real clients. And when Andrew texted, asking if I could swing by real quick to fix a broken front lock, I sent him my updated invoice rates. He replied with, "Wow. Family discount died with your pride, huh?" I didn't answer. I forwarded him the rate sheet again. Clear. Impersonal. Businesslike. Later that day, I got a call from my mom. I let it go to voicemail. The transcript read, "You're being cruel, Nick. This isn't who you are. You've let money make you cold." I saved it under forecast, guilt, 90% chance of manipulation. Anna noticed I wasn't checking my phone as often. She smiled more. We drank coffee together in the mornings, sitting by the cracked window while the city woke up. She said, "You're different now. Lighter." I nodded. I used to think I had to earn respect by being easy. She looked at me. "And now?" "Now I think ease is just how people get away with using you." Leo started calling our place Level 2. He said, "It's like in video games, harder, but better rewards." Every night I tucked him in, locked the front door, and felt something shift a little more inside me. Not rage. Not resentment. Clarity. The family kept pushing, not every day, but often enough to make sure I knew the offer to come back into orbit was still there. Just at their terms. Jenna sent a group message asking if we were emotionally ready to be civil again. Andrew posted a vague quote online. "You can't heal in isolation. Family is messy. Love anyway." I unfollowed him. Mom sent a letter, an actual letter, saying she forgave me. Forgave me. I folded it neatly and slid it into the same drawer where I keep loose change and old warranty manuals. That Saturday, I walked into the barber shop and made a spare key for Leo. "Why?" he asked, turning it over in his hands. I said, "Because you live here. You deserve to unlock your own door." We both smiled. Careful wasn't cold. It was conscious. And being deliberate about who had access to us, who we let in, what we gave and why, didn't make us bitter. It made us safe. Leo's 11th birthday came with no chaos, no drama, no permissions asked. We rebuilt the old soccer net again, new rope this time, and a stronger frame. Leo insisted on helping, even when his hands got blistered from the knots. "We do it right? He said, repeating something I'd once told him. "Right." I smiled. We hung up decorations the night before. Simple ones. Paper lanterns, chalk signs, a folding table with 2 layers of dollar store tablecloths. Anna made a lemon cake from scratch. I rented a bubble machine that spit soapy orbs across the courtyard in every direction. And then, just like last year, they came. Jenna first, with the cousins in matching shirts. They weren't aggressive this time, just present. They stood near the entrance, watching. Jenna eventually waved, a tight smile that said, "Let's pretend nothing happened." Then Mom arrived with a wrapped gift that still had the price tag on it. And then Andrew. Late. Loud. Carrying nothing. He stepped into the courtyard like he owned it. Looked around once, took in the string lights, the laughter, the music coming from our little speaker. His smile faded quickly. He walked up while Leo was laughing near the bubble machine, and said, loud enough for everyone to hear, "You broke Mom's heart, Nick. You owe her an apology." I didn't flinch. I bent down to ask Leo if he was okay. He nodded but looked unsure. I ruffled his hair. "Go blow some more bubbles for me." Then I stood and turned to Andrew. "I don't owe anyone here a thing." "Not anymore." Andrew scoffed. "You shut her out. You act like a victim when she was just trying to keep the family together." I looked him in the eye. Calm. Flat. "I have 71 voicemails, Andrew. 94 texts. All of them trying to guilt, coerce, or gaslight me. You think I don't keep records? You think I didn't learn?" His face stiffened. I know exactly what this is. You don't care about Mom's heart. You care that I stopped playing the game. That I walked off the field and didn't beg to come back. Jenna approached, her voice sugar-sweet. Can we not do this here? It's a child's party. I nodded. Exactly. So if either of you want to be here, be kind. Celebrate Leo. Or leave. Andrew didn't move. So I reached into my pocket, pulled out my phone, and showed him the open message thread labeled Family. The threat wasn't loud. It was just clear. Next time you show up and start yelling, I'm calling it in as a disturbance. This is our home. This is your last warning. He blinked, actually stunned. Then he turned, muttering something under his breath, and left. Mom followed, looking wounded, like she just watched her favorite play get cancelled mid-act. Only Jenna stayed. Quietly. She stood with her kids at the snack table, watching Leo. Not speaking. The party resumed like nothing had happened. Leo ran up later with frosting on his face and yelled, Dad! The bubble machine's going crazy! I laughed. Anna kissed my cheek. The net held strong this time. No sagging corners. No collapsing frames. I looked around at the space we'd built, not perfect, not big, but safe. Real. Ours. This wasn't about a birthday anymore. It was about the walls I'd finally reinforced, with words, action, and a spine I hadn't used in years. And it held. That night, after Leo was asleep, I stood in the kitchen rinsing cake pans and listening to the drip of the faucet. The house was quiet except for Anna humming softly in the living room, folding chairs back into the hall closet. It felt like exhaling after years of holding my breath. I checked my phone one last time. No voicemails. No messages. Just silence. A few days later, I got a friend request from my mom on a new Facebook account. Her profile picture was a blurry sunrise, and her bio now read, Forgiveness is the only real power. I didn't accept. Andrew texted once. Just once. You don't have to keep shutting us out. Family is still family. We all make mistakes. I stared at the screen for a full minute, then typed, I'm booked. No explanation. No argument. Just the truth. My time, my energy, my peace, they're reserved now. Not for those who keep score, twist memories, or treat kindness like currency. Leo started 6th grade the following week. On his first day, he came home and told me he stood up for a kid who was being teased. It felt weird, he said. Like I could feel my heart in my throat. But I still did it. You were scared and did it anyway? I asked. He nodded. Then you were brave. He grinned and ran off to show Anna the new comic book he got from the library. Later that evening, as we cleared the table, he pulled out his house key. Waved it like a trophy. I didn't lose it once all week. I smiled. I never doubted you. We lived slowly after that. Not in a sad way, in a deliberate one. We grew herbs in old mugs on the windowsill. Built birdhouses. Started making pickles in mason jars, labeling each one with a joke Leo came up with. Every now and then, family would try to poke their heads back in. A tagged post. A vague invitation. A third-hand message about a birthday or a holiday or an important conversation we'd missed. But there was no hook in their words anymore. No guilt that caught beneath my ribs. Because I'd figured out something simple. Celebrating my own son never diminished anyone else. Protecting my peace wasn't selfish. And saying, no, didn't make me broken. It made me free. They always said I was the quiet one. The background guy. The one who never made waves. Turns out, still waters run deep. And sometimes they carve whole canyons. I didn't slam any doors. I didn't raise my voice. I just changed the locks. And that's how I finally came home.